How is your stock portfolio going to survive the collapse of China? And if you don't believe that the Chinese economy is about to collapse, then you need to turn this video off right here. But if you do believe it is going to collapse, you and I need to determine how much of the merchandise that is coming out of Amazon comes from China. How much of the hardware that Apple produces is coming from China. How much of Tesla's automobiles are made and sold in China as far as that goes? How about General Motors? They're owned 50% by China. The semiconductors come out of China. If all the stuff stops coming from China, how's the shipping industry going to do? And then there's the pharmaceutical industry that is dependent on China. These are the questions we need to answer if we want our portfolio to survive the collapse of the second largest economy in the world.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
If you, like me, believe that the Chinese economy is going to fail, in part because of the real estate crisis that has been brought on by Evergrande and several other contractors, and the loose lending and the failure of the bonds that they have sold not only to the Chinese people, but also to American and European investors. If you believe that all is going to happen and Chinese women that work in factories will be moving back into the farms, and thus we won't be getting the merchandise that we have in the past and our dependence that we have built over the past 40 years. If you believe that, then let me give you some information to add to that. 60% of all the merchandise that Amazon ships on a daily basis comes out of China. That goes away. Then we have to know that Amazon needs to lay off people. Apple, 90% of the hardware that they sell you, their new phones, your new tablets, your earbuds, 90% of that merchandise comes out of China. What happens to Amazon when they've got none? The supply chain is down. The girls have gone back to the farms. It's estimated that 400 million workers will leave the cities of China and go back to the farms. That's a third of their population. 55% of all Teslas sold last year were sold in China, were made in China. So how does Elon keep his factory together? How does he keep his investment together in China if that all collapses? 48% of all the cars that General Motors sells are made and sold in China. What happens when that all goes away? When the Chinese people aren't working anymore, so they aren't buying cars, much as they aren't paying for their apartments that they bought that aren't being built, now they aren't going to be paying for the cars. So what happens to General Motors and Tesla's car business in China? 24% of all the semiconductors that are used in the United States come out of China. Another 20% come out of Taiwan. So if that goes away, what happens to the auto industry? What happens to the refrigerator industry? General Electric is dependent on China. What happens to our stock market when China collapses? How about pharmaceuticals? If I told you that 80% of the drugs that you're going to take today are dependent on the ingredients produced in China and India, what happens to our pharmaceutical industry? Do you then want to hold pharmaceutical stocks if China fails? What about your shipping stocks? What about the Zim that pays a 24% dividend and you've been collecting and so well? What happens when no containers are being filled and shipped to the United States anymore because there are no workers in China. They've all gone back to the farm because the real estate crisis occurred. Well, you'd say, well, China will prop them back up. Okay. How are they going to do that? They're going to print more yuan. Okay, now how are they going to, if they have to do that and they have to rebuild this economy over there, how are they going to pay for the food and oil that they need to keep themselves going? The way they're doing it now is they come to our treasury window and basically say, hey, we've built up a credit of $1 trillion. We'd like some of those dollars to buy our food and our oil and our gas from Saudi Arabia and Russia and Ukraine. Well, what happens if they are not getting any more credits and they spend down all of those IOUs in very short order to buy food and oil and gas? What happens to their ability to trade? It goes away. They freeze to death and they starve. This story all starts with an overbuilding of apartment buildings and homes to accommodate the people who are going to make the stuff that the Americans and Europeans need at a cheap labor price. So how will my portfolio survive this demise, the collapse of the Chinese economy and the ripple effect it's going to have into the United States? Well, the first thing I'm going to do, and I've probably already done by the time you see this video, is I'm selling my Apple. I'm selling any Google I got left or any NVIDIA I've got left. I've already sold all my AMD. I'm selling my Apple. That's hard to do for me because I think Apple's a wonderful company, as I do Amazon and Google. I sold my Tesla last November. I sold my Facebook more recently, and I'm going to sell my Bitcoin. I believe that we are going through a reset. I believe that the whole economy of the world is going to go through a reset. We have this event, this collapse of China. We have this event, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And we are now going to have to react to it, and we're going to have to go on. I will continue to hold my biotech and my genome stocks because I don't think that's a train even China can stop. But then what am I going to buy? Am I going to sit in cash as inflation goes up and interest rates are below and I lose money every month? No. I've identified 7 stocks that I'm going to buy. I told you about one of them in yesterday's video. It's all about liquid natural gas. Then I've identified 6 other stocks that I'm going to buy. But I'm not a financial advisor. I gave that up when I retired with my CFP, my CHSC, and my CLU. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share those 6 stocks with my Discord, with the people on my Discord who belong to my Platinum Discord, who work with me, who have in fact shared with me the names of some of the stocks they believe that are going to survive the collapse of the Chinese economy and the ripples that it's going to put through our banking system, through our real estate system, and we're going to go through a reset. It's Michael Berry has said that his big short of the 2009 real estate industry was minuscule relative to what's happened. Well, Michael, I think you're right. The whole world's economy is about to push pause, reset, let's start over and see if we can make this happen. What happens to China? I don't know. Have we been there before? Yes, we have. It all repeats what happened in Germany. After China resets, after they decide whether Xi Jinping is going to continue to take them down this crazy path that they've gotten involved in, maybe we'll do to China the same thing that we did to Germany. We'll just all come together, get rid of the Communist Party, and divide it up, and make it run properly, because we need China. We need their labor. We need those girls to come back from the farms and make our socks and our shoes and our semiconductors. But we need it under a different arrangement. That's my take on it. I'm going to cash, and I'll immediately be buying some other stocks. If you want to get involved in this, if you want to sit down on our Friday stock talk, which I won't be there for this Friday, and learn more about how I'm investing and how I'm recommending my tribe to invest, go to the link in the Discord and come join us. Join our Platinum group. I'll tell you the stocks I'm buying that I think are, what do we want to call it? The second Great Depression proof? All right, we're going to learn from history, because history will tell us where to put our money to make it through this. All right, this is exciting. It's a little discouraging because it's been screwed up so bad. Talk to you again tomorrow.